YouTube. Okay,
That would be good.
There's YouTube. Hello, everybody. Welcome. As you can tell by my voice, I'm not in the best of moods right now.
It's been a week for more than one reason.
Blah. But Auto Switcher said that we're streaming tonight, so I guess we're streaming tonight. For what it's worth.
Well, Tentoawa and Luzunique have been patiently waiting for a bit.
Sorry I was not able to stream on Monday.
Oh boy. Speaking of, part of what I mean about this being a heck of a week.
Yeah. I'm purposely waiting for Orca to show up so I can give the full explanation so I don't have to repeat myself.
That seems wise.
But yeah, I had an emergency Monday, so... Or should I say... Yeah, no, it would have been Monday because it was started at 4 a.m., so...
Yes. And there's Orca. Hey, Orca.
Yeah,
Time for the story.
So, Sunday, Ryan and I, we were feeling pretty darn good. We had an excellent raid night with action. We then went to Mexican over at our local Mexican place that we actually rather like. We've actually never have eaten there directly. We'd always ordered out.
DoorDash and such.
But so we were like, finally we should go in and actually sit down and enjoy the comforts of this place. I mean, they're right around the corner. We felt we needed to treat ourselves.
I've been in there.
And I had wonderful fajitas. I had wonderful enchiladas suizas.
Suizas, yes.
Yeah. So we came back, we did our bun stream, went to bed. Oh, and one of the things they put on the table that we normally don't get when we're ordering, because it's an order out situation, was they put down these standard chips and salsa as an appetizer while you're waiting for your meal to come up.
They were good chips. I don't do salsa.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting salsa. It was spicy, but actually flavorful. And it wasn't that spicy, but it was very, very acidic. And so I do that. I finish up my night. I do a little more work because I actually tend to work at night, so I go to bed stupid early in the morning, though I had to change that around because I needed to pick up Baron at the airport at noon on Monday. Come 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and my entire digestive tract feels like a witch's cauldron at full boil. My face was flush in a typical way that's similar to when I have a food allergy and I'm running a fever and I'm like, oh great, I ate something I shouldn't have. And the only thing I could think of that was different was the salsa on the chips.
Since you've had their fajitas before.
And it actually wasn't that much salsa.
No.
So I go to the bathroom and try and purge some of this gas. I take a pair of Tums antacids. And I think that's what kind of pushed everything over. And next thing I know, I am worshipping a porcelain god.
Yeah, the Tums was probably a bad idea.
I figured if it was indigestion, Tums would help.
Yeah.
And stomach acid, Tums would help. Tums did not help. But after that, I started feeling better, so it's like, okay, my body just had to get rid of something it didn't like. I go back to bed. 2 hours later, at 6 in the morning, it all starts up again. Now, realize I'm feeling this all the way down through the intestines. It isn't just the stomach. And I end up purging myself again, and I'm like, my lips are numb. This is bad. James, come on, wake up. We're going to the ER. So
Always the way you want to begin your morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. At this point, I'm like, okay, this isn't just an allergy thing, though. I think there was an allergy component to this.
Given the numbness and other things, probably, though you did also mention that you did not have a screaming headache, which you usually do get with an allergy reaction.
Yeah,
so
with food allergies, I
uncertain.
get screaming migraine headaches, like hamsters trying to claw out the top of my skull.
That's the main thing that says not allergy, but a lot of other things say yes allergy. So yeah, who knows?
So I end up in the ER at like 6:30 in the morning, and they immediately jump because I'm like barely stumbling into the place. I'm in so much pain.
The good news is hardly anyone else was in there.
Yeah.
That was not true later.
Oh no, there.
It was the three-ring circus you kind of expect when I left.
Yeah, part of what happened there is apparently another hospital had so many trauma patients, they had to start shunting trauma patients to other hospitals.
That's never good.
In the area, and the hospital we were at got some of them, but the hospital we were at doesn't have a trauma unit.
Yeah.
So the most they could do is stabilize and then ship to another hospital. Anyway. Continuing the story. The first thing they did was they got me in pretty quick. They put me in the observation wards. So there was always someone there keeping an eye on me in case I turned bad. As far as I know, Orca, there wasn't, but it was apparently the night.
Yeah, no, it was, and I'm used to seeing that place actually fairly busy with a line of people, all different complaints.
But
at 6 in the morning, not so much. At like 2 to 3 in the afternoon, yes, much. That should say something.
Mm-hmm. So
about when I got out of there.
They immediately started running a host of tests on me. I had not just the first thing they did, which is standard kind of practice, is, oh, you've been throwing up a lot, so we're going to stick your arm and shove 2 different bags of saline into you. Yeah,
I remember that from the time I had to do something like that back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's standard procedure. It's a good safety measure. They also gave me a couple different meds for anti-nausea, which actually helped immensely. Mm-hmm. It calmed the stomach down. But they immediately... I had like 3 doctors all trying to draw blood from different parts of my body all at the same time. I've even got bruises from it. It's pretty impressive.
Not your first time.
Not my first time.
Let's try and make it the last. Please.
And every single one is like, my God, you have tiny veins! And I'm like, yes. Yes, I do. Thank you for noticing. By the way, they have a tendency of collapsing when I'm stressed. Oh, dear. Do you think they're collapsing now? Am I in the hospital? Yeah, you're stressed, aren't you? Yes, I'm stressed.
What was your first clue?
That was the whole conversation. So they got me calmed down. They got it to where I could take some liquid diet in normally, but apparently my red blood cell count was through the roof.
White blood cell.
Yeah, white blood cell.
Red blood cell count through the roof would not have been nearly such a problem.
No, that might be clots. So they decided that the best course of action was to actually stay at the hospital overnight for observation to make sure those white blood cells go down. The first doctor was, I don't know what you have, but I don't like your white blood cell count. We need to make sure you're in for observation. The second doctor I got was like, oh, you've got some sort of stomach virus. This is kind of common. It's probably not from your food. You could have got it from anywhere. But yeah, it was probably best you came in. Let's make sure you can eat something. If you can keep it down, so on and so forth. The first time they gave me...
It was a good thing you came in was kind of the recurring theme.
Yeah, all three of them were like, it's a good thing you came in. Because I was in trouble. So much so, I ended up pulling an abdominal muscle. That's fun.
Yeah, from all the retching, yeah.
Yeah. So I stayed overnight at the hospital. They ended up giving me a pure liquid diet. The first time around, I kept it down, but I was feeling a little green under the gills, and it got better as time went on. And during all this, I'm like trying to coordinate with James and Caradwan to try and get Baron, who's stuck at the airport, wondering where his ride is.
No, that was the thing, is he wasn't due until noon, and this case of, okay, let's wait until 8 when, people might be up, and somewhere around that time is Baron lands in Denver for the connection, and I'm going, yeah, I am not going to spring this on you when you get here.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to be telling you this remote.
I hate telling him a remote, especially when he's so far away, but at the same time, it would have been worse if he showed up and, oh, by the way, your wife's in the hospital. Ugh.
Oh, by the way, here's your ride. It is the Purtive Smudge will be played by Lance today.
Yes. So, the third diagnosis I got was from the actual hospital doctor as opposed to the ER doctor, and his response was very much, I don't know what the other guy's talking about. This was such a clear case of food poisoning, it's not even funny. It's a good thing you came in.
But yeah, Lance was able to pick up Baron no problem, so
bless his heart.
Well, yeah. And of course he was doing his usual thing of, and if you need anything, I'll be out for a little bit, just tell me and I'll provide it. And,
yeah,
I'm not home. I wouldn't even know what I'd want.
He means well. He's trying to help, and the fact that he went and picked up Baron was a huge help.
Yeah.
So...
dropped him off with all the luggage, which survived TSA this time.
Amazing.
Yeah. A little, getting to be quite amazing that when it does that.
So that was my Monday through Tuesday and why I didn't stream on Monday.
Yeah.
My gut is doing better. I can still feel it's a little off and grumpy, so I'm kind of taking it easy on what foods I eat and keeping to things that are relatively easy to digest.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure I get my fiber. In fact, I should probably double my fiber. I just don't know how I'm going to carry that much fiber to double it. Look out! Your fiber has been doubled! But I am doing much better now. I honestly think it was a case of the reason why I'm doing better now is I didn't try and tough it out. I went in.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I have learned over time, and something I've kind of had to get on Baron about, is that when you're having a problem, go see someone. Don't try to man up. Don't try to tough it out. Because 9 times out of 10, if it is something bad, it'll just make things worse. So I get back and yeah, everyone knows the rest. We don't have to go into it.
The worst thing is there's one other bit of unresolved drama going on.
Oh god.
Which I will need to remind Baron about tomorrow, since I forgot to remind him today.
Which is?
Oh, and then there's the AAA.
Oh, yeah. AAA insurance, yeah.
And then there's the fourth part of drama, which is the
plumbing
leaking again.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. That apartment is cursed! I swear!
And of course, this happens Monday, shortly after Tuesday. Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. Baron is preparing to come pick you up from the hospital. He comes into my room and is going, "You're not just." Basically, you're not going to believe this. I forget exactly what he's going, but I'm starting to get really worried, though. I'm going, he's nowhere near angry enough for it to be something bad. And, yeah, the place we're in is kind of staggered. We're in what was, once upon a time, the manager's unit, which is kind of just an attached,
house,
almost separate building. And then, we share a wall with apartment 2, and then above that, directly above that is apartment 3. And then also on the second floor, but away from us, so not on top of us, is apartment 4. Underneath apartment 4 is the carport.
And laundry facilities.
Yes. And once upon a time, over a decade ago now, Smudge and I come home from lunch, and Smudge notices there's this stream of water running down the support pillar of the carport. But apartment 4 up there has not been the same since.
Yeah, it is like once every couple of years, it has a major plumbing leak that just bursts and drops into the carport.
Not really. They've only done that like 3 times, and we've seen them replacing pipes more often than that. So apparently there have been, plumbing adventures that we don't see in the carport.
Yeah.
But earlier this year, basically water started leaking from the roof of the carport. Parts of the stucco basically came off, things like that. Tuesday, that happened again after they'd repaired everything.
Yeah.
There will be a guy out tomorrow to take a look at the pair of current plumbing problems.
Oh, and there's also the plumbing of Dave's shower.
Yes, which is the other half of the both.
Yeah.
And that keeps being a fight between, okay, is this the owner's part of the pipe or the city's part of the pipe?
That has been the fight, yes.
Because, of course, there's this little kind of junction grating right outside the apartment. Cambridge.
No,
Perdesi has been saying that from there on, it's basically the city's piping, which I found a little bit odd because there's a decent chunk of yard to go through. And it basically snakes its way down a little bit to a second grating that is right next to the sidewalk. And then it goes straight from there under the sidewalk to a nearby manhole. Looking at it, was kind of going, that seems a little bit weird, and like the plumbing, the plumber expert as opposed to their hired handyman. came out to further look at things and said, yeah, the city part of the line happens at the second grading, which I'm going, yeah, that makes sense. From there it passes underneath the city sidewalk. And the city is saying, no, here's the relevant bit of city code and ordinance and everything. That part of the pipe, all the way out to the main sewer line, is the responsibility of the owner.
So now we're having a fight
now,
between...
if they need to replace it, they shouldn't. There are things that need to be done, but that'd be like relining and so on. But if they had to replace it, they'd have to basically get a permit from the city to tear up the sidewalk and everything. Which hopefully wouldn't be too hard, but yeah.
Now, keep in mind that it's actually gotten better, and I think it was part of the problem with Apartment 4 is we've had issues with water hammering in the pipes.
Yeah, we have not heard that for a while.
Which I'm grateful for.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's been our week so far.
20 minutes of introduction.
Sorry to have to have you guys listen to us rant and ramble.
Hey, at least you got to hear a different rant and ramble today.
We'll see.
Distractions.
Yeah, maybe.
Lozanique?
Yeah, Lozanique. Tenata was finally acting his old self again. Now I'm sure we're ready for whatever lies ahead.
I sure hope we are.
I hope I'm up for this.
Since healing was the toughest one so far, I'm a little worried that the two specialty, i.e. healing and tanking, might be the tough ones. Dreams of a new day. Tintuawa is eager to set a trap for Leofine. Yes, Urka, the trailer did drop.
Yeah, I was stupid and stayed up for the entire live letter. Oh god, I was so tired after that. It's like, please let me go to bed!
You need to stop doing that, You
But
weren't even streaming it.
No, I was not streaming it.
If you're gonna stay up that late, that long anyway, you might as well stream it and do a bingo card.
Tinatawa?
Sir Handaloop still hasn't sent word. I guess the others might not be so enthusiastic about our plan.
To them, the cradle of sleeplessness is naturally still something to be feared. No matter how much faith they have in your strength, you'll be at Leofine's mercy if she puts you to sleep.
Honestly, I don't blame them. Not even I imagined our treasure could be used for such evil. Leofine's hands is no more than an indiscriminate weapon. But that means when we get it back, we can turn it into something else. Something no one's ever thought of before. We can find a way to use it without forcing someone to spend their life in slumber.
Of course I agree with you, Tinatawa, but we have more pressing matters, namely a rogue knight to capture and a treasure to recover.
Right. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Apologies for keeping you waiting so long. The Temple Knights have finally reached a decision concerning the delegation to the Sea of Clouds. And what have you decided? I am pleased to say that the Zundu have agreed to join forces with us. Together we shall drive back Leofine should she attack. If her shadow darkens even an ilm of their homeland, our peaceful delegation shall turn into a fighting force at a moment's notice. We shall restore the Temple Knight's reputation and recover your artifact in one fell swoop. Thank you, Andalou. We promise to do our part if Leofine shows herself. She won't get away this time. We have but to hammer out the finer details. Once we are ready to depart, the first group of knights shall leave by airship. I would ask you both to make your way to Oakzundu as soon as possible so you may help plan our strategy. It's been a while since we've been there.
Yes. I'm coming too. I can heal your wounds, and if it comes to it, my staff can bruise as well as the club.
I'll gladly have you with us. I'm done taking on the world alone. I need you, Loazanique. And Draylian favorite, too. We're stronger together than we could ever be apart. The cradle never would have been stolen if I'd realized that from the beginning. And I want you by my side to ensure I don't forget it. Well then, we'd better be off. I'm keen to meet his Chief Sonu Vanu. So, once we're done with everything, should we arrange for a rousing chorus of Kissy Girl?
With those two? Yeah. Oh, Sea of Clouds, wrong way.
Yeah. You want the airship?
I mean, we could go that way. There is a way to do it via the maps, but... Oh, I've done live letter bingos in the past. Generally for the big ones, though, not for small patches.
Right.
But I am looking forward to new content. We'll see how it goes.
We're still finishing up old content.
I know. Sorry I put us behind schedule with not being able to stream on Monday. Cloud Top, please.
Yes, 2 tickets for Cloud Top. Come on. Yeah, I've not been on board the Protector in ages.
And it's
This
still
thing is
locked.
such a hanger queen.
Yes, it is! How dare the Ironworks produce such a monstrosity?
I have a new name for it. It is not the Protector. It is Apartment 4.
Oh god, that's horrible!
Yes, it is!
Oy, Apartment 4, really?
Yes, really. It deserves the mocking.
And the poor lady, the wife who lives in Apartment 4, she was like, I'm sorry,
That was the part of the story I didn't get to, yeah. There's a new couple, apparently with kids in there now. Japanese, I believe. And, Baron went out, or showed me what was going on. He went to pick you up. I went back to get my phone to take pictures, which I handed over to Dave. And just ahead of me, she came out. Okay. And was staring at things in the carport, who's going, I was doing some cleaning. I'm just, no, this is not your fault.
Yeah, this is totally not her fault.
This has been going on forever. The current problems with the leakage and everything, they were saying last time there's like this reservoir underneath the shower and that overflowed. I kind of figured it was something like that. And yeah, obviously it happened again. It stopped. I don't know if it's happened again since then. I'm not keeping a careful eye on it, but we're not taking that chance.
Yeah. Hello, Sanuvanu. Long time no see.
Honored Netherling, your return to Uxundu is as welcome as the arrival of spring. Sonu knows why you come. Wicked hearts seek to bring chaos to our home. And so the Zundu shall rise to its defense if needed. As the sun's rays chase away the shadows of night, the Sundrop Dance shall keep the tendrils of sleep at bay. Chief Sonuvanu, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Tenu Toawa, and if this Sundrop Dance is as invigorating as you say, I'd love to see it for myself.
Please, please do not make Theron do the Sundrop Dance. It's a good dance. It's a perfect dance. Except with Theron, it looks like cultural appropriation. I wish I was joking!
The Zundu shall dance before Ishgard's warriors upon their arrival. Brave Tentoawa is welcome to join the proceedings.
That was what your original intent, right? I see. If we're to draw Leofene out, it makes sense to pretend like nothing is amiss.
Zundu warriors unify their strength through the Sundrop Dance, and the sight is so fearsome that many choose to flee rather than fight. Netherling warriors may learn much from such an approach. Breaking the enemy's spirit avoids needless bloodshed. Yet all dancers must hone their skills before wild animals first, that the Sundrop Dance does not fail them at the most crucial moment. It is for that reason our dancers await at the outskirts of Uxundu for the Netherlings' arrival. When the performance begins, it shall draw the attention of all like a roiling cloud coming over the horizon. Watch carefully for any who would take advantage of that moment. After the dance is finished, Netherlings will present the Zundu with Chief Suno! Netherling's ship appears in the skies like sudden sun shower, hurtling toward Earth. Swiftly it descends, crashing down near Zundu dancers. Ship's markings are Ishgardian. Zundu are unhurt, but wounded Netherlings pour from vessel.
Oh dear.
Like a lightning bolt in the night, Leofene
Strikes. Yep, yep.
Yeah, she put the crew to sleep.
The Temple Knights were coming by airship, right? All Leofene had to do was lull the pilot to sleep.
She saw right through us, and now we're on the back foot. Great winds can alter even a raging river's course. What matters is to stand strong and move forward. And now, we must offer aid to the Netherlings who come as guests. Right, let's go.
Ah, Orca, you see? The Hanu Hanu are Tulali versions of the Vanu Vanu. Yeah, yes. And here we go.
Yeah.
Which of course... yeah.
Sorry.
We're fortunate that Leofene chose the outskirts of the settlement to enact her horrible plan. Imagine if the ship crashed over Uxundu, even Ishgard. The other thing is that the Vanu Vanu and Hanu Hanu have a distant ancestor that was originally created by the Elegans, referred to as Mirror Knights.
Yeah, and we've seen those too.
Yep.
I much prefer these guys to the Mirror Knights.
Oh, I totally agree. The Mirror Knights are trouble.
Mm-hmm. If this is the work of the Cradle, Leofene can't be far. Yeah, I'm not sure they've ever defined what the distance for any of these is. We must tend to the wounded, but I won't let her escape again. This ends today, one way or the other.
It does at least need to be line of sight, apparently. Because anytime we've seen it activated, it's been line of sight.
And potentially
man. They are all down.
Mm-hmm. Really?
She came by Griffin. Interesting.
There you are, Leofine.
You came all this way just to greet me? Oh, I am honored. I only hope my gift was satisfactory.
They are showing off the new grass.
'Tis shame you will not see Ishgard crumble. Alas, I can scarcely suffer rats to scurry about my feet, threatening to gnaw away at my carefully laid plans. At least you bear witness to the dying breath of the Temple Knight's flaggering honor. We would sooner see the wretched airship soar again than their reputation return to its former glory. Yet even I did not foresee the Zundu would be in the ship's path. Very favors me, for who now would trust a nation so careless to put their neighbors at risk? Everyone knows you're behind this. People won't turn on each other so easily. Oh, I wish that were true. Oh, I didn't see you there. The shut-eye, wide awake. Doubly honored I am that you came all this way just to meet your end. Enough! We're taking the cradle back. You won't ever let your evil continue any longer. Such bold words. If I recall correctly, your people reaped great benefit from this artifact's power, all at the cost of someone's waking life. Your life. Pray, do not misunderstand me. That was not meant to be a denouncement of your people. On the contrary, they have my utmost respect. We are bound by our very nature. No matter how mighty we become, we are slaves to the whims of sleep. Yet this artifact can sunder those shackles and grant true freedom. It makes its wielder stronger and its enemies weak. A perfect weapon, if you ask me.
I can't say whether using the cradle is right or wrong. I only know that a life lived at the cost of another is no life at all. You're right about one thing. We are bound by our nature, but that doesn't shackle us. It brings us together. And whether I'm awake or asleep, as long as Lo is Zanique is by my side, that's the life I want.
Aww. Show her no quarter. I'll be your shield.
I am in Pally. She has exhausted the cradle's power on the Temple Knights. This is our chance.
Humph. No plan is without its wrinkles, I suppose. Fortunately, I prepare for all contingencies.
Yeah, we're going to need a Sundrop dance in here.
Just not by Theron.
The unchivalrous.
You had an opportunity to live a quiet life, but I will not give it again. This time I shall send you to a slumber from which you will never wake.
Give back the cradle or we'll take it back.
All bluster as
Bluster as
usual. Take it if you dare.
Protect the Netherling warriors.
Now to show you the form of a true warrior. Arr!
Succumb to the burden of sleep and dream eternal.
Okay, what else you bringing?
Don't just stand there, kill them!
Who else? They're awake! What happened? We're awake? Everyone's awake. Yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm a bit behind. Witness the Sundrop dance. Netherling warriors awaken. Yeah. Keep cautious. Healer cast under stormy skies. Now you know a little resistance. Okay, just for that. Oh,
Is she gonna bail? The artifact swells with power. It begs to be released. Just for the record, I really love playing Warrior. I just hate how all the class gear makes me look like a Ren Fair nerd. Not saying Ren Fairs is bad, it's just he really looks like he got it at Spirit Halloween.
yeah. Okay, I just caught up to the city.
Yep.
And her first bed.
Isa. Now you shut your eyes for the final time. Take the last glimpse of a waking world. She's empowered. Yay! I'm still gonna kick her butt.
Letting out your inner beast. Oh my. Yeah. Allied's gonna handle the weight. Nice.
I'm all right. What about
Tawa?
Tawa?
Yes.
He's asleep.
He took one for the team.
You think this piece of wood is protection? Ah.
Such cloying sentiment.
Is that all of them?
Looks like 3.
Come here and fight me. On your feet, Tenatoir. It's your duty as the waiting eye.
Help ally. I view your picture. Oh, thank you. Hopscotch. Good. Which resolves first?
At one point she's gonna cast daggers. You can use interject to stun it. Ha 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 ha! Just waiting for Ride to finish up. She's got this.
Oh yeah.
Nice
The sword
work.
collection did it. Didn't quite dare read that last one.
Ugh, you stubborn. Mew may have won today, but this is not over.
Yes, it is. Oh dear.
I am out like a light.
That is the most undignified I've ever been in a cine.
Damn fool.
Now!
No! Say goodnight, Leo Fene.
That'd be neat. Say goodnight, Fene.
Sorry.
You're eager.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. That's a very loyal griffin, though. The wide
Yes,
eye
it
watches
is.
eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows.
We finally stopped her.
Yes, but we have someone else to worry about. Yeah, I am not gathering the materials for this one. Relia? Theron, wake up! Are you alright? Only they would smile at a time like this.
You kidding? This is probably the best night's sleep I've gotten all week. Sure wasn't last night. He's awake. She's awake. They're both awake. This is awesome.
Did I miss anything?
There you go.
Netherling looks hale as a warrior in their prime. Good. Our wicked foes fled from Sundrop Dance like twilight before dawn.
Yes.
And unfortunately, this means she could be back.
Yeah, because that griffin can easily just...
Especially since it's not like it has a horribly short time limit to catch her in.
Yeah. If there's no body... It's good to see you
Seem
two
to be
awake.
missing a body.
Don't worry. You weren't sleeping for long. And judging by your fierce expression, the cradle didn't sap any of your trademark vigor.
Your work is done. You did a commendable job as our shield, and now you can lay down your burden. It was thanks to your bravery that I was able to deal the final blow to Leofine. And with the cradle back in our possession, I think we can consider this expedition across the seas to be a success. Zundu helped us gather the wounded. Oh, yeah, that is Lowe's anyway. Sorry.
The Zundu helped us gather the wounded to see them safely off Tishgard. We couldn't have done it without you.
Netherlings protect allies as fiercely as Galacat protecting kittens. Zundu are moved by your might.
You hear that, Galacat?
You were equally as impressive. I should learn the Sundrop dance myself, so I won't strike a figure half as fierce as yours.
I know it, I just refuse to do it.
The Zundu seem to have everything well in hand, and Handaloo is likely eager to see us. We should return to Ishgard as soon as we can. Maybe we can teach the dance to the Hanu Hanu.
The Hanu Hanu do have something similar. What's the easiest way to Ishgard? Over here. This should get us to Ishgard. That was an air elemental.
Yes.
There's a lot of them around the Sea of Clouds. I wonder why.
Yeah, they have they're called sprites, as in like minor spirit, and they have versions for each of the elements. I think wind and earth sprites are the ones you do tend to see the most often.
Though fire, lightning, ice...
Yeah, all the rest do show up.
Water... We've even, on very rare occasions, seen light and dark sprites.
Really? I don't remember those.
You mostly see those in encounters. You don't see them wandering the world.
Right.
Though I do believe you'll get light sprites on the first.
It would make sense.
And if we ever return,
a symbol of the area is, heavily endowed with that kind of aether. But if we ever return,
yeah, if we ever return to the 13th, I'm sure we'll eventually come across the dark.
Yes.
Or chaos sprite. I'm not sure how they're quite labeled.
Yeah.
Hello, Handaloo.
The heroes of the day have returned. Thanks to your valor, the threat Leofine posed is no more. What's more, not a single life was lost. On behalf of the Temple Knights, allow me to express my utmost gratitude to you all. You don't owe me any thanks. After all, it was my fault that the cradle was stolen in the first place, and ultimately my fault that your delegation to Oxundu turned into a melee. It may be true that our visit to the Sea of Clouds was far from peaceful, but the bond between the Zundu and the Temple Knights has only deepened through overcoming mutual adversity. Blessings often take inscrutable forms. And while we know not whether Leofine yet lives, we do know that she can no longer reach the source of her ill-gotten power, so we have little more to fear from her. With the crisis behind us, yeah, Leofine will return in. With the crisis behind us, the common folk no longer have aught to fear. We will make known the story of Leofine's schemes and the heroes who worked to foil them, and in time I hope that trust in our order will be restored. The Temple Knights shall continue to build relations with our neighbors for years to come, relations which shall form the foundation for Ishgard's future. We would be honored if we could count you among our allies in this endeavor. Anything you need, simply call upon us. We'll be there, no questions asked. And with that, it's time we returned home. It's been an honor. We'll be passing through Tuliolal on our way back. If you have business in those parts, we'd love to speak with you at Zebav before setting off. See you soon, hopefully.
Oh yeah, we'll be there in about 10 minutes. Thank you for your help, Handaloo.
For 10 years, he alone defended his people, without rest or sleep. I understand the importance of tradition, but Master Tentoawa seems to be more suited for walking a path of his own making. He needs but to know his own heart, and I believe these recent events have given him such knowledge. He is bound for greatness, regardless of how he chooses to live.
And time to head back to Tuliolao.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, I think I'm gonna skip the tacos for now.
Okay. Can I have yours?
Only if I can have your, caramel flan.
Flan of victory. We'll split the flan.
Splitting flan doesn't seem quite right. For taking all my tacos and leaving me with nothing. Flan and churros. That's about as much as I can stand right now.
That has to be a truly poor posting these days.
Actually, I don't think it's so much a posting as if lore is correct, they've effectively been abandoned there. And they're stuck.
Yes, they have.
And they're just trying to hold the outpost together because they don't know what else to do. Yeah, that post, the one here in Blue Fog, and the one out on Limsa Lomenza in by Costa del Sol. And as far as I know, Miriam, as opposed to Mary-Adam, is effectively just abandoned. Which is the one that's right next to the port we're going to go to head to Limsa with.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that one.
Yeah. That was abandoned and temporarily overtaken for the weapon project.
Right.
And that's where we fought the Emerald weapon.
Okay, I didn't realize it was out there.
Yep. That's the post we're talking about right there.
Yeah.
It's effectively just empty now.
Still manages to be something of an eyesore.
Of course it's an eyesore! Abandoned fort of the Garlean attempt to take over Eorzea. Yeah, what we just passed through is Thanalan. which is the desert region, with Old Daw, which is the major city-state sitting in the center. That's one of the starting regions.
Yes. Yeah, the basic game, you get 3 major regions with 1 city-state for each one. There's Ul'dah in the desert, Gridania in the forest, the Black Shroud, and Limsa Lominsa out offshore on the islands.
And of course, Korthus up north, which has finally rejoined the Eorzine Alliance.
And prior to any expansions, you do get little pieces of other things. You get a bit of Korthus. I'm trying to remember, other than Korthus, is there anything that isn't Black Shroud, Thanalan, or Limsa or La Noscea?
Nope, it's just those regions.
Okay, all those 3 regions plus Western Korthus.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Heaven's Word, the first expansion, which of course is what the buns are in the after story of, introduces the rest of Korthus and Dravania and things like the Sea of Clouds.
Yes, we are heading westward.
Mm-hmm.
Take us over the salt, good sir. Ah, there's the lovebirds.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you made it back to Tural. I'd been in Ishgard for so long, I'd almost forgotten what it's like to sweat. But I remember now, you can be sure.
Got used to the
Had
nippiness.
someone acclimatized to Ishgard a bit.
Well, remember, they're used to being from a polar region.
Oh, right, that's right. They're also very far north.
Yes. Theron, Relia, there you two are. I was afraid we wouldn't see you before we left. We arrived not long ago, apprised Brook-Evu of everything that happened. This is the longest I've spent away from our village, but even though Tuliolal and Ishgard were like entirely different worlds to me, I was only ever treated with kindness. Is something the matter, Tenatawa?
Nothing. It's just something I've been thinking about. Our people have always been self-sufficient, but the Ishgardians and the Zundu showed that looking to your neighbor can reveal a way through the harshest difficulties. And you heard, Handaloo, the bond between Ishgard and Ukzundu was only made deeper through their shared ordeal. To trust another to such a degree, well, I think is a goal we should all strive toward. We have at least one friend like that, don't we? She who bent her ears to every note of the narwhal's lullaby without a shade of fear in her eyes. Thank you. And you too, Theron.
Are you kidding? That was the best night's sleep I've had all week.
For believing in us. For believing that no matter the outcome, your actions would not be in vain. In so doing, you taught me the worth of fighting alongside allies you can trust. Even if your shield breaks, that is not the end.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
You're right. It's our faith in our allies, and their faith in us, that gives us the courage to protect each other.
You got that right.
But approaching someone with open arms doesn't mean they'll accept you. The relations between our people and our neighbors have been strained by generations of mistrust. and we must take care to mend them properly. If we can do that, and learn to look towards the future hand in hand, then there will be no need to use the cradle ever again. People can sleep and dream untroubled, and awaken with bright eyes. I want to see those days come to pass.
Me too. Then you and I can finally spend more time together.
Right. Of course.
Ah, am I gonna have to beat him over the head? If we're going to see this future, then we should get back to our village. We'll be overjoyed to see the cradles return.
Thank you for everything. Next time we meet, may we both have good news to share. Yeah, still nowhere near as bad as the healing quest.
Actually, the tank one was kind of fun.
Yes it was. No sleep till Tuliolol.
I feel better after beating people up. Yar.
I thought you might.
You are correct, Orca. There are many tribes of Keeper of the Moon that are native to the Black Shroud, where the Keepers of the Sun tend to congregate towards Ul'dah, and then mostly out to Alamigo.
Yes. Okay. Oop. Ah. When did this happen?
I'm sorry, that was just perfect. At least you're in the environment for it. Oh. Hello. Shashepia?
Yeah. The hunter and the hunted. Shashepia seeks an adventurer who likes getting up close and personal.
Hello there. I've taken you spoken with Brookivu. Willing to lend a hand? I am grateful. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Shashepia, and I have traveled far from my village in the forests of Dawntrail in search of a brave soul to help us retrieve our stolen treasure. For generations, my people watched over the Dreamweaver cocoon, the vessel in which the power of the swallowtail Tural Vidral is sealed. Before its ascension, the swallowtail warded off would-be predators by assuming the form of a more threatening butterflies, poisonous ones, and the like through the skill of mimicry. So, to survive day after day, summer after summer, until the dawn of its great new existence, it became capable of taking on the form of any creature that crossed its path. The fearsome power was sealed within the cocoon, and any who possessed it command the self-same abilities. Indeed, the wielder, too, may assume the form of any manner of beast or man they beheld. Yet this mimicry is not without limited to merely physical form. No, the wielder may replicate the talents and abilities of their target, so long as such actions fall within their kin, that is. In an instant...
Transforming blue mages.
Yes! In an instant, they may become a master of the hunt, a twin-blade-wielding viper, or a savage Brox with claws and fangs who gut whomever they please. It is this power that has protected my village from predators of the forest, for through it grants many boons, and the forest contains threats in equal measure. By donning the skins of its most formidable beasts, we've kept ourselves safe for generations. Without the cocoon, my village's very survival is at risk. That is why we have sent our most fearsome hunter, Itoka, to ensure it is reclaimed. She has never failed to capture her quarry, and I thought she would make short work of the ordeal. Yet there has been no word from her. I fear this may be a hunt she cannot undertake alone. It is this reason I wish to enlist the aid of one familiar with the lay of the land beyond the Great Sea, and one whose prowess in close quarters would complement her expertise with the bow. One of the villagers ran into a thief before he fled, and he said he intended to use the cocoon's power in Kugane, which I understand is the name of a large settlement located far, far to the east. Please,
I'm in the right class.
for the sake of my home, set out for the eastern habitation and assist Itoka and retrieve the cocoon. Oh, that is so me. As long as you're willing to cover the teleportation expenses. Because, oh lordy, from here to Kagane.
You're going with that, huh?
Yes.
Because
Forgive
you
me,
were being a
but,
cheapskate. Again.
What is teleportation? No! Oh, this is going to be painful. Well, if it is a required expense, rest assured Itoka will compensate you for it. She'll be entrusted with a fair sum of the village's combined reserves. Whatever she needs to track down this villain, she will have, and so shall you. My Gil! Upon arriving in the eastern lands, search for a Viera woman carrying a bow and dressed in similar attire to myself. If you visit a tavern like this one, I dare say you might find someone who has seen her. We know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've arrived in the eastern habitation, travel to a tavern such as this and ask if anyone has seen a woman matching Itoka's description. When you found her, I ask that you lend her your strength. My Gil!
And we probably need to spend it if we want to get there before and do the next part of the quest before the end of the night.
Hold
Shall
on.
I pay for it?
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, do you still have the cheap port to the Ruby Sea?
Hold on.
Crybaby.
Yes, I am. On priority, the right path.
Oh.
How bad is this gonna be?
Though I can't help thinking,
Oh, God. Even with the priority Aetheryte pass, it is over 1,000 gil.
yeah. Yeah.
Sure we don't want to slow boat it?
Yes. I'll pay.
Farewell, last Aetheryte ticket. I knew you well.
So, you know, being a ninja for this, and the transformation abilities, Do you think there will be a sexy jutsu?
Are you sure that wasn't what you hit when you initially flipped into ninja tonight?
Maybe.
Sexy jutsu!
Well, we haven't done this flight in a while.
That's right, I need to make more strength pots. We're gonna need them for the weekend. I blew through all mine.
All in a good cause.
I was wondering why I had a book of iconoclasm right in the middle of my stuff. Ooh, Fuggy!
Yes! I remember when volumetric lighting would take my system to its knees.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know I find it interesting that apparently our starting character for it is Bukul Jaja.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. Habuko, I see you're still drinking.
Well, that's from Tral, was it? Sorry, can't help you. That reminds me, though. I heard Tral has its own local variety of spirits called mezcal. Been meaning to taste it myself for an age now, but you've no idea how hard it is to get one's hand on a bottle of it here. You're not missing much. Just ask Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the Shiokaze Hostelry. How may I serve you?
We're looking for someone.
And
Viera.
still waiting on that sushi platter.
Yeah, where is that sushi platter?
Searching for someone. As a matter of fact, I do distinctly remember seeing a Viera woman of that description earlier, but I'm afraid I could not tell you where she may be now.
Thank you. That is actually kind of helpful.
It's a start. Nice.
Hello, Hayataka.
A Viera woman wearing a bearing a bow. Why, yes, I do recall such a person. It was hard not to notice her, really, given how she was peering at every little thing. She came from the distant lands to the west. No doubt Kugane is quite the unusual sight for her. With any luck, she'll still be where I saw her, in the vicinity of the Sekisugumi barracks.
Keep in mind, Orca, that Gulu Jaja in 14 is actually a reference to Gulu Jaja in 11. That's where the Mumul Jaw first showed up in FF.
Love the references.
FF Memory. The interesting thing about FF games is that they are not sequels to each other. They are unique stories encapsulated in and of themselves. You do not need to know of one to be able to appreciate another. However, it exists as troporific.
Yeah, they will repeat certain ideas. plot-wise, you will generally have the villain behind the villain, and the real villain will generally be nihilistic in nature.
Yes. That and chocobos and moogles and
then, that was the plot stuff. The non-plot stuff, yeah, you'll have chocobos, said moogles.
Yeah.
And then 14 is just indulging itself with every reference they can get away with. And maybe even ones they can't.
Itoka-esque woman.
Sure.
The city is simply far too large for me to cover alone. Perhaps it's time I returned home. Nope. Don't need to do that. I'm here to help. I've come to aid you, Itoka. Oh, is that right? I'm grateful, but why? Yeah, your friend sent me.
I like the way she was kind of looking around for candid camera.
I see. Shishipa was always a worrywart. I don't deny I appreciate the help, though. Ascertaining the whereabouts of this cocoon has been no easy task. I managed to secure room and board at this lodging after arriving in Kugane, and have been using it as a base to track down the thief ever since. I'll tell you all that I know. According to an eyewitness from my village, the thief is a middle-aged Huron male. That's all we have to go on regarding his appearance. Yet, as long as he possesses the cocoon, he can be anyone or anything. An elderly woman traipsing along the street, a child throwing a ball, mayhaps even a dog chasing it. Truth be told, I was nigh at wit's end trying to find him. That is, until I discovered that a series of unusual squabbles have been occurring around the city. An investigation of these incidents I found one commonality. The instigator, in each case, invariably had no recollection of the incident, let alone of inciting it. What's more, eerie accounts have begun circulating among the residents. Some folk claim there seems to be they've been seen in two places at once. Based on this, I believe the thief's been using the Dreamweaver cocoon to transform into innocence and spread discord throughout the city. Stands to reason we can find him by following the trail of chaos left in his wake, no? And yet, even should we apprehend him, in whatever form he's hidden himself within, there's nothing to stop him from feigning ignorance. Besides, the secret remedy, of course. The recipe is an elixir which can forcibly remove the cocoon's enchantment that has been passed down in my village for emergencies like this. I made sure to prepare
Someone's been thinking ahead.
Yes, they have. I made sure to prepare a few vials before making my voyage here. I need simply to throw the solution at the suspect and the cocoon's weave of mimicry will unfurl on the spot. That covers everything. Now, what say we see if there's any trouble afoot? The thief will undoubtedly not be far from it. Let me know when you're ready. We'll catch him together.
Okay then.
Do we want to wait here and go have that sushi and
I think we'd better.
Yeah. It is that time.
We now know what the last quest will be about.
Mm-hmm.
It's mocking me.
All I can say is I hope he doesn't try and mimicry us. That would be real trouble.
Yeah. Though it wouldn't be the first time. Sushi!
And yet, Talon's has never shown. Oh, after all these years, I feel sorry for her and ashamed. This place should do better. With that said, it is 11 o'clock. It's time to call it a night. I know at least Rye has work in the morning. I have work as soon as I log off, so... Yeah, fishy! Let's be honest. Let's get a proper fishy emote. There we go. With that said,
F is for fishy. That's good enough for me.
Yes, it is. You all be safe, be well, get a good night's sleep, and we'll hopefully see you Friday starting at 10 Pacific.
Everyone, try to have a good week.